Hello, my name is Dr. Rudy Garrity, and I'm the founder of the American Learnership Forum, which is an educational nonprofit. And this is an overview of a TEDx talk I hope to do sometime after the first of the year. I want everyone to know that in fact this is a real story. This is my story. It's a story about how I started at 20 years old with nothing at all going for me. How I had a first life that went to about age 48. And then at age 48, I decided that it was time for me to reflect on my first 25 years and to come to grips with what life had to offer me for the next 25 years. And in this story, what you're going to see is that I'm using three props. This one prop is the globe, where I came to grips with the fact in life that I didn't know very much, even after 25 years of having worked and had a family. That whole world, that whole globe was full of information that I wish I knew, and that my brain was very limited, even though I had lived half my life. And I'm going to end up with this prop, which is a 500-page book, which basically is a left brain and a right brain view of how one can go through their first 25 years, go through their midlife transition, and create a second 25 years and live the whole thing and record over 50 years of their own experience and make recommendations how other people might do it too. So with that said, what I want to point out is that the focus is on a midlife mindset, how to create that mindset, how to create a methodology to do the studies, to learn, and how to leave a memorable legacy at the end of the program. So with that said, let's start off with the planet, the Earth, and it is true. Actually, in fact, at about 48 years old, I was in a doctoral program trying to learn as much as I can about how everything fits in life and how, in fact, where my part was. And so I looked at the globe and I said, isn't it interesting that I'm just a little dot on this whole globe, and half my life was gone already, and I really had to learn a lot about what was going on. The second part of that was, the issue became, if I was going to learn it, where would I go for the information? Well, I discovered that you can go to just about any university where all the courses, all the programs, all the departments are laid out, and you can take what you want from any of those, and I had only sampled 2 or 3 of them in the first half of my life. And then, on top of that, if you were going to sample those programs, you needed to sample those programs in a way that you'd be able to record both the left brain and the right brain parts of the learning that was necessary to really have a full life going forward. Now, in actually doing the work, I was doing this as part of my doctoral dissertation. I did create this model, which talks about personal self-fulfillment, organizational high performance, the community common good, and societal enlightenment. And that was the basic content description of what I wanted to flesh out in a much fuller program. I added to that, took those same 4 dimensions, and I added to it sort of an educational or a motivational set of 5 competencies, because competencies, when they're acted on every day, is what a human being uses to learn in order to take action. And those competencies drove all the activities in those 4 social domains. And when I took those 2 and put them together, I did create what I call the practitioner development process. And in the practitioner development process, I took the personal, organizational, community, and societal social systems and drove them forward to self-fulfillment, high performance, the common good, and human enlightenment. I also took the reasoning competencies as the drivers for this process model, and I embedded them within the universal knowledge spheres and the universal ideals. So this has feedback loops, so it's very dynamic in how this activity works, and my job was to say, I want to see how this all works together. I want all the social domains to be energized and motivated and action-oriented because of the reasoning competencies, and that could create an integral life for everybody who participated in such an arrangement. This whole piece of work ended up in something I ended up calling learnership and integrated systems architecture, because everything that I showed was what I had to do in my 4 years doing my doctoral dissertation to make the case that this system would actually work. And I walked away out of my doctoral program saying, I'm going to take this forward, because this way of thinking, when imprinted into a person's brain, takes into account everything that was learned to that point. And I left there and I went back to work and I continued to manage my life, because what happened was I was only talking about how I got to this point. I still had 20 years more to live and document, but I had not gotten ready yet to record it because I wasn't ready to do it. So eventually, when I got done, I had recorded it all, and I ended up with the book, which is here, and there's the book there, and the book is arranged now so that every person who takes this approach and goes through this study would be able to experience personal self-fulfillment, organizational high performance, the community common good, and societal success with human enlightenment. Thank you.